What is up, guys? It's your boy, Rick. I need a hunter like you in the Red Jacks. Kackis here. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button to support the channel, and let me know what you think my next intro should be. That comment section is absolutely wild. Alright, today, we're going to be discussing why you should, unironically, not clickbait, be playing the Garden of Salvation raid every single week in 2021. And you may be thinking, listen dude, I don't have a whole raid team ready to go. Like, what do you think I am? But trust me, what I'm going to end up recommending is significantly easier than running the entire raid. But first, we need to discuss why. Why am I even suggesting this? Well, the Garden of Salvation raid came out all the way back in 2019 with the Shadow Keep expansion. However, due to the fact that it's a raid, like raid pieces of content have not had their loot sunset. So pretty much everything else that originally came out with this Shadowkeep expansion, that loot has been long sunset. Now we have had some remade and reissued moon weapons as of late, but obviously I'm not counting that. But again, the raid stuff, because it is raid stuff, is perfectly good and still infusible to the infinite light cap. Like, it has absolutely no cap on it. But the Garden of Salvation raid really marks the turning point because it's the last raid with kind of trash loot. And then after that, with Beyond Light and the launch of the Deepstone Crypt, and then also more recently with the Vault of Glass, we have much better raid loot, specifically because now Bungie is putting in some exclusive raid perks. So with the Vault of Glass, we have rewind rounds being very powerful on certain rolls, and of course with Deepstone Crypt, we have stuff like Reconstruction, which is incredibly powerful. But Garden of Salvation really didn't have that. The perks available were just the same perks that you'd see on random legendary weapons outside the raid. So things aren't looking too good. Like, why the heck am I recommending this? Well, it's because due to the current meta, certain raid loot from Garden has shot up in value dramatically. So when we look at Garden's raid loot, truthfully, there's some pretty decent stuff. I mean, the Ancient Gospel Hand Cannon is a very good 140. Remember, 140s have actually gotten a lot better in the game since 120s were nerfed. I mean, this can get rapid hit plus kill clip for PvE. That's very good. The Reckless Oracle Auto Rifle, that thing can get outlaw kill clip. It also has fantastic stats for a 720 RPM auto, and it can even get Demolitionist, which matters quite a bit because it's also a void weapon. So that means you can be using this with Demolitionist and then use the Nezarec Sin, which gets even more ability energy if you're a warlock from using void weapons, and you can really make a very powerful Grenadier build with this particular weapon. Not to mention the Omniscient Eye is actually a very capable PvP sniper. It was a lot better before rapid fire frames got nerfed, but it still has some spicy PvP rolls. And the Pulse Rifle, like, this Pulse Rifle is actually pretty fantastic. It's actually the only aggressive frame pulse, so that's actually a 4-round burst that's not sunset. And it can get rapid hit plus kill clip. And with that pulse, because it's a 4-round burst, right, you go up to rapid hit times 4 immediately. That is really powerful, and this thing is still capable of bodying people in PvP. You just don't see it too often because it's now a fairly rare gun. People aren't running Garden. But all of those guns, although they're actually pretty decent, and if you see any of those and think, I want one, feel free to go after it. The meta has actually shifted really hard to favor two pieces of Garden loot specifically. The first one is the Accrued Redemption bow. So this bow is actually pretty nuts. Firstly, it can get the role of Archer's Tempo to decrease draw time after every precision hit, plus rapid hit. And then you get something like Elastic String, and this becomes one of the fastest firing bows in the game, even though it's actually a precision frame. So it gets the speed, once those perks kick in, of a lightweight frame, but it has the accuracy of a precision. That is super advantageous. But also, instead of rapid hit in that second slot, you can get explosive head. Guys, this is so important right now because we have overload bow rounds featured this season, and a bow with explosive head is going to be like the most consistent way to stun an overload champion. That extra burst of explosive damage really seems to up your consistency, and so if you plan on running high level content, especially grandmasters that have launched recently, definitely getting a good Accrued Redemption with something like Archer's Tempo plus explosive head, that is going to be a grandmaster all-star. However, there's actually something the meta favors even more. I'm sure I don't have to tell you guys how well fusion rifles are doing in Destiny 2 right now. They have cemented themselves in both PvP and PvE. They're now part of raid boss damage phases due to the particle deconstruction seasonal mod. Well, Garden has a fusion rifle as a reward, and it's the Zealot's reward. So this is a rapid fire frame fusion. That archetype specifically has gotten a huge boost of power because it shoots more projectiles just this season, and this one can get auto loading holster to reload automatically when it's stowed, plus high impact reserves to increase the damage of the bottom part of the magazine. Guys, this roll is actually insane. Even though it won't actually do as much damage in PvE when compared to something like a Cartesian coordinate with Vorpal weapon, that roll has its issues, mainly the fact that you're going to shoot all your rounds and you will have to reload. The Zealot's reward, even though it's going to do a slightly less damage, may actually result in more damage overall with what people are utilizing in the DPS meta, because what do you often use in combination with your fusion rifle? You use another heavy fusion rifle, the 1K Voices. And the Zealot's reward is actually going to let you shoot off all of your rounds, trigger high impact reserves, do a ton of damage, and then you can switch to your 1K DPS with one magazine of that, and then switch back to your Zealots. It's going to be instantaneously reloaded, and you can go to town with that. Whereas with the Cartesian, you're going to have to shoot your shots, and then you can switch, but if you switch back, you're going to have that awkward reload that of course is going to take away from your DPS. So having an auto-loading rapid fire fusion and one with a perk like high impact that's going to boost the damage even more, this is extremely viable and good in the PvE meta. But you can go the PvP route, get one with especially the perk Under Pressure, and I mean, True Vanguard's been posting clips of him absolutely slaying out with that thing. It looks disgusting. So there's both PvP and PvE viable roles for this thing. So that is really the reason you should do Garden. The bow and the fusion are both really, really meta and desirable for this season right now, Season of the Lost. Here's the best part, guys. Both of these weapons actually drop from the first encounter of the raid. So what you can do is what you've been seeing in the background gameplay. You don't have to do the whole raid. To get the most desirable weapons, you can just run the first encounter, switch characters, run the first encounter, switch characters, run the first encounter, and then you're done for the week. So as long as you can get a group together for that, and the first encounter is actually pretty easy, especially compared to, stuff like the last encounter, it really shouldn't be too much trouble. Especially if you look and it's a week where the Leftovers challenge is on. This is actually the first encounter challenge. So that means you're going to be getting double drops for that first encounter, which is going to increase your chances of getting the rolls you want even more so. And so guys, that is why you should be running Garden every single week. It has two extremely meta weapons, and both of them are available in that first encounter, making farming a lot easier than normal when it comes to doing raids. And so guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickKackis. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.